Just so you guys know, the meetings are recorded, so any background noise or loud conversations, all that gets recorded too.
This is algae.
Hi again, ladies. I saw some of you in the last one. I just had to get off and get onto this one so we can record it as well. Every workshop's a separate recording, so I have to log off and log back in when I get to the next room. It's lots of fun, Zooming and teaching at the same time.
Hi, Tamara.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
It's my fault here. Better.
I'll wait just one more minute and see if anyone else gets on here for our Zoom session. And then we can talk shop.
And then we have to be done at what time?
We have to be done by 3 o'clock. That's when we need to be back over with Dylan in the main room. So let's do 3:10.
Liz, your hair is really cute.
Okay.
Thank you. I just had it done.
It's really cute.
Bring it back, at least. Hoping it doesn't take that long. Come on in, Jordan.
We have all the instructors there, we have IT panel, and they have industry people and
Is Todd Hargrave able to be here?
all of the IT people will be in for the industry issues.
Wait, I saw Todd in the hallway. All right, well, I guess we'll get started, everyone. For everyone who's on here to our OWL chat today is the Horticulture Super Secret meeting. And I mean, I'll be honest, we kind of planned OWL chats around the fact that we always try and do this meeting and try and work it in somewhere in the schedule. So we thought, why don't we just work it into the schedule and other people meet during this time too? So that's kind of how this one came about. But usually what we do during this time is discuss any potential schedule for nursery landscape and floriculture CDEs to try and make sure that we can lead up to a state contest. State contest dates have usually been at the end of March, and that's been the traditional timeline that we've met. And I don't see that changing this next year. I know we're all hoping for in-person, honestly, with a state contest. Todd Hargrave has been our state coordinator the last 2 years now for nursery landscape. And I currently serve as our floriculture CDE coordinator. And this has been my 4th year. 2 have been virtual though, so it's been very interesting. But what I'd love to do is find out who is interested in hosting contests. It's easier to try and host a nursery on a Friday and floriculture on a Saturday to try and coincide those students you might have in common that also like to compete in both contests. Plus it means only 1 week of travel, weekend of travel for us versus 2 weekends in a row kind of thing. So we usually try and partner up with someone close to us if we want to host a CDE that might be helpful, basically. It doesn't mean that we have to partner up with someone. If nursery dates and floral dates don't coincide, then that's totally fine. It just kind of depends on this. But I would love to find out, first of all, who's interested in the nursery landscape CDE and competing in that this next year, having teams. Okay, and who is interested in a floriculture team this next year? Okay. Anyone both, like both nursery and floral? Okay, but you do coach nursery. Okay.
There were 2 on Zoom.
2 on Zoom. Okay, perfect. Oh, I'm gonna let a couple people in real quick. Okay, so so that's one of the things you always want to try and figure out is how many teams we have, because that also helps determine honestly how many maybe scheduled events we need to have prior to states. If there's a lower amount of participation, there's usually less events that we try to put on for people, so we're not overwhelming everyone with events. And if there's more, then we can try and work more into the schedule. I do know of one person also who was interested in hosting a nursery landscape. Steve Lorenz at Hudson Bay in November. So he was interested in having nursery landscape down there in November as an in-person contest. So that's another one that wanted to be in the schedule. But at this time, real quick, everyone has a calendar hopefully on their phone or something that they can access their own school calendars, or I don't know if you guys' calendars are even available to you yet for your schools. But the state date we'd be looking at for 2022 would be nursery landscape on March 25th. That's generally when it's been. Now, I'm not going to say for sure that's what it's going to be, but that's generally when it's been. And I don't think Jason and Liz will have a problem with that, honestly. And floriculture state has generally been on that Saturday, March 26th. That's been the traditional dates. The reason why we have them in March is because, first of all, we usually start coaching these CDs a little bit early, and it's nice to get some spring CDs out of the way before you're jam-packed with all the other ones you still have to coach in the month of April and May. So it's nice to get some of those spring CDs out of the way. So at this point, besides Steve Lorenz at Hudson Bay and in November, is there anyone else that's interested in hosting a nursery landscape CDE this year?
We will do one in January,
Okay.
and we can do nursery on Friday and floral on Saturday.
What school?
Yeah.
Okay, so Yelm. And you're willing to host both nursery and floral that weekend?
Yeah, I just talked to
Okay. So which weekend did you want that, Hillary?
I feel like it's always, I'm looking at the calendar now, like the 21st, 22nd.
Right there. Okay, so Yelm, so nursery then would be on the 21st of January,
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
right? January. Okay. And the floral will be on the 22nd.
I'm willing to do an online one again, and we can fit that in wherever you guys would like. So,
Floral one, Sarah?
yeah,
Okay.
I could probably put together a nursery one too. Because it's just ID and test and kind of a good way for your kids to walk through stuff. I don't know. Unless you don't like it at all, then I don't have to do it. You don't have to take that out.
I think anyone's willing to make sure that they
You want it?
participate.
I'm willing.
Okay, so you're interested in hosting both?
Yeah,
Sarah?
because it's just on
Okay.
whatever I use, Google, I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
It's out of my brain. Don't even
Okay.
think about it.
And do you want to wait and plan out the other in-persons and then put yours virtual somewhere in between them? Okay, good. All right. And the Hudson Bay one, he was hoping to host, make sure I look at my email again and make sure I got it correct. I'll just look up his name real quick and that'll be easy. So he was hoping his first choice would be November 5th and his second choice would be November 12th for a nursery landscape CDE. So what weekend would be better for those individuals who are competing in nursery? The first choice he would like is November 5th and his second choice would be the 12th of November. Okay, for a nursery landscape. So would you guys be okay with the 5th, his first choice, or?
There's no school on the 11th. The 12th would be the day after Veterans Day, which is.
Oh, definitely should go with the
Friday.
5th then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we decided for the 5th then, and let him know that his first choice is the one that we chose. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, she's there.
Nothing. That's good.
Okay.
Where was that one?
And that one's at Hudson Bay. It's down in Vancouver, Washington. He does a really great job of putting on a contest for students to help, first of all, students that are just starting out in a CDE, because he really helps to provide those opportunities to train your kids at that contest. But he's also really great about choosing materials and working with flowers and plant material that he can get in his local area pretty easily. So it's a good location too if you're yeah, I think we're back now, everyone. Sorry, we had internet connection issues here. If it happens again, just stay on. I'll get on as soon as I can, okay? So Castle Rock would be our floriculture one. That will be in November. And that's gonna be hosted on November 6th. Okay. So we'll start with that. Okay. So we got in-persons in November, we got in-persons in January. Honestly, I'd be willing to host a late February one for floriculture. Just need to look at the calendar real quick.
Well, there was talk about having one on the east side. So, because
Yeah.
I don't, where is state this year?
State this year would be at a west side.
Yeah, so there was talk. I know that
Okay.
there's some floral teams on the east side. So,
East Valley.
East Valley's willing to host.
East Valley, okay. What's the timeline?
I have no idea. What, I'm sorry, what?
When was she willing, when were they
I
wanting to
have
host?
No idea. You tell me, Tamara.
Okay, let's see.
But is it bad? This is my question, and I'm just throwing it out there because you're like, oh, I'm willing to host. Would it be bad if the West Siders had one and the East Siders had one, and then you could go to either one, or does it have to be, because sometimes it's easy to just like go to Ritzville for a day and then, or go to East Valley, to Yakima for a day.
No, I think that would be fine. We just put them on the schedule, and if people want to go to one or the other, then
Okay.
that's fine too.
Yep.
I think it alleviates the problem of going over the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, in February.
In February, is- yeah.
Yeah.
That happened
Yeah.
with my contest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We made it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could be
Some
two.
of them
It could be two. If you like March sometimes gets away with us with district leadership contests and things like that too. So having a late February might be an easier one to try and put in the mix is what I'm trying to think of. So for me, hosting a West Side one, I'd be willing to go with, I think February 26th would be a date for me. It's 1 month out from state. So that's kind of good timing, I think, to get a contest in there. But when would East Side want to host one? Do you want to do the same weekend or a different weekend?
So like the 19th, so like the weekend before,
Is that national?
that's FFA week, the
Yeah.
start of FFA week.
What a great way to kick it off, in my opinion.
Okay. So
Oh,
then,
yeah, and we don't, well, I don't know if that's us or them, for everybody. We don't have school on
Oh.
the 21st. I don't know if that's a.
we have,
President's
don't have-
Day.
it's
Oh.
President's Day is the
So
21st,
that's
yeah.
probably not a good idea then.
Okay.
Well, can you do like early March? Is that too much?
If you do early March, you run into spring exec, also being
Oh.
that first weekend in March. And for me, I can't do March because we follow spring exec with our booster auction 2 weekends in a row, and then it's just kind of crammed. So. But that doesn't mean an East Side contest wouldn't have to be a different weekend. You can do a different weekend. It's fine.
I don't use the You don't have anything the 5th in our district. What about March 5th? For an East Side one? Would that still work with
March 5th is spring exec. So if anyone has
Oh,
any
that's
issues of attending, if they're a leader in their district, a lot of times too, and I won't say this for sure, but a lot of times they've tried to host in conjunction with spring exec. They also hosted the conference for the students as well, the same weekend. I don't know. They haven't come out with their dates yet, so I'm not going to say one way or the other.
February 5th? Yes, February 5th.
February 5th for floral.
Yeah, in East Valley. East Valley Yakima, not East Valley.
Okay.
East Valley Yakima.
East Valley Yakima.
You put it in the
Yeah.
Google Maps, right?
And February 5th. And that way too, if people want to go to both, they can, because they're both different weekends. So that would be fine.
What weekend did you say yours?
Mine is February 26th.
And then is there a nursery tied to yours?
It would depend on whether or not someone in our closer to me would be willing to put on a nursery. Wayne Ramsey comes to mind, but I don't know if he'd be willing to host that weekend. I don't want to commit him if I haven't talked to him yet.
And that's the same situation. We could have potentially a nursery landscape in Kennewick.
Could be too, though, that we put that virtual one in that mix between February 5th and February 26th. We put the virtual one in there, where we put it that, that first part of March and run it over 2 weeks, Sarah, to give you some time to get kids to get done. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Doesn't matter to me. Either way.
I'll let you decide since it's you hosting.
Do we want to maybe touch base with nursery and then put the virtual one in?
Well, we can figure out if there's any other dates. We can talk to them maybe this evening or tomorrow and see if there's any other dates you want to add in there. So that
The
could work.
virtual one, I mean, it's easy to move it around.
Okay.
Does it make sense to do the virtual one in December? Because, I mean, we never did anything in December because of travel, and virtual doesn't have travel. And that would give you more of a continuous of November, December, January. It wouldn't have a big gap, and you're not traveling in December. It would seem that would fit well. If everybody's schedules are still free to squeeze a virtual in your busy December.
December for us isn't as busy as other ones sometimes. So. But yeah, what do you think, Sarah?
December sounds great.
Okay. We'll just say December for virtual, and we won't put a specific date because usually the virtual, you'll give them some time to complete it, right? Okay.
And then did you guys like them all on one link, or do you want the link separate? Like floral plant ID is this link and then floral test? Or do you want them just to click on it and go through it?
What's easiest for you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me because either way, I just put them in. So. I suppose it's if you want them to do it all in one chunk, or if you want to give the kids time to like, okay, this practice day on Tuesday, we're going to do tests. Okay, and then maybe on Thursday, let's do ID. That would be easier for you, separate. Then I just sort them and away we go.
If it's one link, are there stopping points for them?
You mean like where they can take a break and come back? No, usually it's completed.
Okay.
I like the idea of having multiple ones.
Yeah.
Just especially as a starter, I've never done this before. So my team's never done this before.
Sure.
So an opportunity to practice at each one of them might be helpful.
Okay, cool. Okay. I can do that.
Thanks, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is the weather still good enough to have like an early December contest
I guess it depends.
or late November? Oh, late November would be Thanksgiving, but
Are you hoping to host?
I don't know, maybe not in December, but I don't think there's a lot of people, so that's kind of the way for people, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
That's true.
I was gonna say, I'm not really essential for anyone either.
I mean,
Up in the boonies.
I enjoyed hosting when I was at East Valley.
That's the thing too, you guys can partner up and host together too. It makes it easier if you want to. But are you wanting to host an in-person then maybe in December?
Do you want to fit like an actual big page?
Do people want to have one in December, early December?
We're done.
Yeah, no, maybe.
Well, currently there's only one east side.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm thinking. Bring a little more love to the east side.
Do it right here.
And the fourth. Can I put like an asterisk like?
Yeah.
To down and then when you talk
Yeah.
to Josh.
Yeah.
Randy, make sure.
Yep, no problem.
You can always try it and see how it goes.
So I think we have a preliminary idea and schedule, just to kind of give our people here online with us here an idea of what the dates are. And we will publish this, you guys, so don't feel like you have to write things down and scurry to figure this out. But nursery is going to have, at this point, is scheduled to have a contest on November 5th. Again, nurseries are all on Fridays, and usually the contest starts between 3 and 4 o'clock, right around that time. That way they can get done in time to go get dinner when they get done. So November 5th was Hudson Bay. It's down in Vancouver. And then you have a December virtual one that Cedar Crest is going to put on for nursery. January 21st at Yelm. And March 25th is going to be state nursery at this point. Now, I have to confirm those dates with Jason and with Liz, but those have been our traditional state dates. For floriculture, we got a few more in the mix. We'll start off the season with November 6th at Castle Rock. And then Goldendale would like to host with an asterisk, so maybe, we'll see, on December 4th. We also have the virtual for Cedar Crest in December. And then January 22nd is going to be at Yelm. February 5th at East Valley in Yakima. February 26th at Mount Baker. And our state contest is going to be on March 26th at this time. So that's kind of our preliminary nursery floral schedule at the moment. The other thing we've traditionally done during this time, and I'm just keeping an eye on my clock here because we have to be back over in the main session here at 3 o'clock too, is for both nursery and floriculture, we've gone to kind of a helping each other to help create a state contest type of thing. So both Todd, who's coordinated nursery, and I, who coordinated floral, we seek help to put together the parts of the contest. So it's not one person doing all of the work. And that also helps to eliminate a lot of bias or, anything that you might have a leg up on other people kind of thing. So at this point, we do need to figure out some things for nursery and some things for floral. We got a little time yet. So if we can figure out some things, then we can maybe get some other things figured out later if we need to. Okay, so for nursery, landscape, they have the landscape estimating activity, which needs to be done. And the great thing about this, everyone, is it's really helpful if you can get people from industry that to help write these things. That way, it's not even the teacher who's doing the work, it's the industry person who has skill in that area, putting together the parts of the contest to make it meaningful. So we have landscape estimating. The knowledge test is based off of their manual. Am I correct? Is that still correct? Okay. So knowledge test. Let's see. There's the 3 practicums. Okay. Can you name them for me real quick, Hillary? Propagation. Okay,
assistants and written customers.
okay. And then what am I missing? I'm missing something else in nursery. Plan ID. Jeez. Okay. I think that's all of it then, right? Oh, that's right. I know. It's been a while. Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do is to see who might be willing to coordinate or do the write-up or have someone do the write-up for those parts of the contest. So there's any volunteers that be willing to write any of those things or doing those parts of the contest for nursery landscape?
For the landscape drawing, the person that did it last year, Logan McKay, and I have his email.
Okay,
He's really interested in continuing to help.
Logan McKay?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm gonna put you as the contact on that then, Maddie.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do, everyone, is once we get this information, it will go in the nursery manual, it will go in the floriculture manual, which are available online on the state website. So you know if you volunteered for something or were voluntold for something, and we know who to track down to get all the parts. Knowledge test, Sarah Thomas. Okay. If there's anyone here on virtual too that's willing to do some of these things, just type it in the chat and Carol will let me know. Okay. How about the 3 practicums, propagation, verbal, and written? Anyone willing to do any of those practicum write-ups or know someone who would be willing?
I'll do written.
Okay, Carol, Travis. Okay,
Can you have a team? I mean, it's not inappropriate to have a team. If you're writing, like we're in charge of,
you would be in charge and you'd have someone else do it?
you know, if you have a team in content.
Oh, usually it's okay. You just want to make sure you don't share anything with your students. So good question,
So
Hillary.
you just want to make sure you use their, how do I do this?
Okay. Okay.
I have Woods nursery owner who will assist on any part needed, estimating done or covered. You're doing estimating, so we need,
Propagation, verbal, team activity. and
can you
plan
say
ID.
that out loud to them?
Yeah, so we still need someone for propagation for nursery, verbal for nursery, and team activity. Plan ID is usually someone who's in that area where it's being hosted. So either a local nursery that we're contacting to get the materials from, or someone who is our contact in industry to get those materials from. So last year, it was supposed to be at Lake Washington Technical College is where the contest was supposed to be. So it was a West Side contest. But Sarah, do you have anyone in the area that would be interested in doing plant ID? That might help with that part.
I think it depends on our location.
Okay. Whether it's northeast or southeast kind of thing.
So is it West Side because we didn't do West Side this year? Or-
Yeah. Okay. Anyone with propagation or verbal?
I can do verbal and I'll have Matt write it.
Okay. I love you volunteering around. It's awesome. Okay.
Dan said he'll do propagation.
Okay. Then we just need team activity and then plan ID. We can kind of depend on location to be determined. Okay. Anyone willing to do team activity component for nursery landscape? What is it about, Hillary, when they do team activity? What would be responsible for?
You just write the prompt.
So Tara Pischel is going to have a nursery landscape team this year. So she's not, I don't believe in the meeting. She might be with you guys in person, but I can voluntold her and help her out if need be.
Okay.
For something for nursery.
Okay. We'll put her down for a team activity.
If she needs examples, she can contact Todd or myself.
So if she needs examples, or you do, you can contact Hillary or Todd. Okay. Floral.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So for floral, we got plan ID, knowledge test, problem solving, and team activity. And then there are 5 practicums and floral. The 3 that always rotate are floral arrangement, job interview, and growing procedures. And then I made contact with Denny before conference. And the other 2 this year are going to be, yay, hands-on. They're going to be corsage and to make a combination container. Or combination planter, something like that. So we just need people who can help with each one of these now.
Let's put Kim Oldest on floral arrangement.
Sounds great.
We'll work with her on that.
And Kim Oldest, explain, Sarah, who she is, so they know.
She was the rep in the vendor show that was from AIFD that was making all the cute little thingies. She was the president of AIFD a few years ago. And that's the American Institute of Floral Design. They're like the professional us for floral. And they really want to connect with FFA and get floral teachers more into their organization. So they really want to reach out to us and get more involved.
Liz Rapp will do knowledge test.
Okay.
Cameron, do we know where it's gonna be?
Not yet.
When will we know that? Or who makes that?
Technically, that would be our program director and our executive director, program manager and executive director. So I have to touch base with them yet on that. Yeah. So the plan ID can also be to be determined.
Well, because we've done in the past where everybody brings like 5 to 8, and then whoever's in charge of that room just picks from the mix. And
That worked
was
great.
when we did
That worked really well. But did we have a Google sheet and say what we were bringing beforehand?
We did.
Okay.
We made sure that people didn't bring a whole bunch of the same. Yeah. So we want to do a joint effort on that one again. It worked really well the last time we did it that way. That was when we were in Lynn Ritzville.
Yeah.
We did it that way. So joint effort on Plan ID.
We, Caitlin Coolsey and Dan White said that they will do whatever you want them to do.
Okay. So let's see. Dan, maybe can you create corsage practicum for us?
Okay.
Okay. And then Caitlin, probably have to wait on maybe make a combination combo container, combination planter. I think that's what it's called. I'm trying to remember what it's called exactly. It's been a while since we've done that one. Would you be able to do that, Caitlin?
She has a student in her class that just like.
Sorry, I'm getting attacked by slime and it's grossing me out. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so we got problem solving yet, we got team activity yet, we got job interview yet, and growing procedures. And growing procedures almost needs to be 1, 2, where we figure out where it's gonna be located. You have a lot of nursery, like mother plants and things. Okay, that'd be great. Okay, so Julia. It's warm in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Team activity and job interview still.
I'll take team activity.
Okay.
I'll do job interview if you can't find anybody.
Oh, and then have problem solving stuff. Okay, so job interview. Okay, and team activity. Thank you.
Dusty said she would take whatever. If you wanted something.
Okay. So team was Melissa, right? Would she be willing to do problem solving for us?
She did.
Okay.
All right, with kind of weird things.
Okay.
Danielle might not have a team, but she's willing to help if you need.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So I think we got that figured out too, everyone. So I will make contact with Jason and Liz about the state contest date and location, but the other dates and locations have already been determined. So again, these will be posted in the nursery manual and the floriculture manual, which are available, which will be made available on the state website when we're able to update. Okay. But if you're wanting like dates right away, you can always take a picture of my gibberish up here too before you go. They're kind of all over the place, but you can find them. I'm sure it'll be fine. So anything else for anyone who's online with us? So you guys all okay?
All good.
All right. Well, yes, Maddie.
For the February 25th, I'm hoping to hear back from Ramsey, but I'm thinking we can do a nursery.
Okay. So a nursery on February 5th, and we'll do it at Burlington.
Yeah, the 25th.
25th.
Right,
Yeah.
the
25th.
okay.
Yep. Okay. I know. Yeah. I never want to volunteer any one of them. I did that one year. It didn't bode well for me. Me and I had to do more work. Okay. Anything else, you guys, related to nursery or floral? Yes. Yep.
These are all like practice contests. Do we have another qualifying contest?
There is no qualifying contest for state. These are all local contests that help students build their skills and knowledge leading up to state. You're not required to attend them. They're open and available to anyone in our state that wants to attend. But it really helps build the students' skills, because at these local contests, it's really important too that if you're hosting, you're also taking on the responsibility of hosting all parts of that contest. So if you do nursery, you gotta do all parts of nursery. If you're doing floral, you need to do all parts of floral, including the practicums, so the students can practice. So that really helps. But there is no qualifier for state. And based on, we won't know average for the last 3 years numbers to know if you can have 2 or 1 teams this next year. Once we know that, we'll put that out there too. Okay, any other questions before we all head over to listen to Dylan in the main ballroom? Is everything okay? Yeah.
What years do we use since there was not national? Still the last 4?
That's a good question. So because there was no national competition in 2020, right? 2020? Then we should technically use the last 5 years of national contests that have been hosted for floral, for knowledge test. So we wouldn't be able to change that until we host another national floral in person, and they can have a knowledge test to pull from. Is that correct, you guys?
15 through 15.
So it'd still be 15 through the 19. There's still the questions to be pulling from until we can have another national to pull from. Whole COVID thing. Okay. And nursery does it differently. You guys have a knowledge test bank in your manual. Okay. Okay, so that's what we'll make sure is in the wording of the CDE as well. Okay, I'll bring that up at FFA committee if it's an issue. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Good job, Tamara.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Yeah, I've been meeting all first.